on beginning your spiritual ascension. Yeah, that's what you call it and whatnot. I was going to ask you, what was your labor of love? Because I know you wrote a book a long time ago and whatnot, and you're really into reading and whatnot and all of this. So, what is your labor? Has your labor of love changed? Is it still going? Have you finished it? Have you found it? Um, versus back then, like the old Sam versus the new Sam.
I would
And
say,
if, oh, I apologize. And if you think you have, if you think you finished it, you have one already. Did it change, and are you working on something else?
well, you said my labor of love at this time. My labor of love is really myself at this time. When before it wasn't necessarily that, you know. Um, I don't, I don't think in the past I was so focused on, you know, again, the things that were what I loved or what was all best for me. Yes, to some extent, maybe health wise, I was, or you know, definitely health wise and certain things to the nature. But I wasn't focused so much on like all the things that I like to do or like just kind of like healing what I needed to heal within myself. So I think my labor of love at this point is to make sure that I'm healed or balanced out what I need to balance out within myself. You know, it's less. It's not to say I don't do different activities or things outside of myself that are fun, but I think it's more or less about the making sure me, the inner me is taken care of in a lot of ways. And I think that the more that I've done that, the more I've discovered other parts of me that I wanted to step into and get back into. So, for instance, I can say that for a long time, I really stepped away from music heavily. And that's something that I'm getting back into. But it's also that I uncovered and healed certain things within myself that revealed this understanding to me. And even in a sense of working to build anything in related to fashion or whatever the case may be, that's another thing that I'm doing in a more bigger scale in some sense. And that came about because I worked to heal and release certain things within myself that showcase that, hey, I would like to possibly step into building some business understanding in relation to fashion and everything else. But I never would have discovered those things if I had not taken the time to focus on healing the inner me so she could show me those things. She couldn't show me those things when she was so in distress or in a sense of uh, separation from me. It took me being less separated from myself and more within myself, more pulled back into a oneness with my soul self for me to be able to see those other things that I want to step into.
Another caveat of that question as well is maybe your answer is about to be you. I mean, you can't tell me how to, but what's the feeling of when you find out what you want to be doing in this life that we have, and also how does spirituality? I don't know if it's too. I don't know if it's really different from religion, but how does that tie into your religious beliefs?
Okay, so the first part of that question, can I get that again?
Basically, oh yeah, it's like kind of two questions. One is like, how do you know that you found out what you want to be doing in this life? Do you just know? Is it just something like you, like once you know that you wake up and you just can't stop thinking about that thing, you want to make sure that it gets done, and it's something that'll never be done, and that's why it's a labor of love. But like, how do you know? How do you know? How would you tell somebody that? Okay, that's how you know when it's hit. Like you found out what you're supposed to be doing in this life.
Mm, I don't attach myself. There was a point in time where I felt more attached to things. Even when I felt, as far as like writing or reading and things, I felt more attached to them. And I was like, this is me. These are the things that are me.
It's your identity. Okay,
I,
so you don't feel like that anymore.
so I feel connected to doing certain things, but at the same time, if it's not so much that I have to do them. It's not so much that I'm wanting anything specific to come to fruition. Yes, I want to move forward and have success, but also I'm really just trusting the process of what I hear my creator or my soul understanding speak to me. I'm moving in a way that my soul, it tells me it will be the most emotionally fulfilling and the most beneficial for me. And maybe sometimes actually it doesn't always feel so. Sometimes maybe it feels irritating or it feels grueling, but I'm trusting my soul is telling me to do this for a purpose. So it's not all just about this feels good to me or this feels right. What feels right is what my soul is telling me, and I'm trusting that and I'm following that. And that's the truth of it. I'm listening to, the voice of my creator within me. And that understanding is guiding me. And I'm trusting that. And it doesn't always guide me in ways that I feel like, man, I want to go this. No, quite often, actually, quite often, it's in a way that I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about this. I don't necessarily think I want to do this or go this way. But I hear it saying, trust me. And all the thing that I feel the most devoted to is the trust of my creator, the trust of what my soul understanding, that is the connection to my creator, tells me to do. And as far, it's funny because you said religion itself, how does it, you were asking, is religion any different from spirituality?
Mhm.
And I think that's an interesting question. Again, everything is spiritual. I think that religion is a form of spirituality, and it has, depending on, where you take it, it has certain vibrations and understandings. I think that at some points, maybe not now, there may have been a point when I would have thought of myself as being a Taoist, but that is not something that, a Buddhist, that's not something that I see myself in now. There is a form of religion, I guess you could say, that is called being an ascended master. And that is the following that I kind of like connect with the most. And what an ascended master is basically someone who follows truth above any religion.
Religion.
The truth itself, and that's the truth I follow. I follow the truth within myself above any religion. And yeah, that's what I do in that sense. I don't think that there's anything wrong with religion. I think that it's for some people, and I think that as you grow, you may step out of that. Especially I grew up in Christianity, and as I grew and walked through my life, I followed just the truth of what felt right in my soul, and it had me, or kind of like had me shift away from that understanding. That doesn't mean I think that Christianity is bad. I think there are parts of it, just like anything, that resonate with me, and I take what resonates and I leave what doesn't.
And I'm glad you talked about that and whatnot. Because you said grew up in Christianity. We grew up in Christianity. My thing is though, I think at a certain age, maybe at your age, you kind of realize that it wasn't for you. I just know for a fact, me and my brother, like I remember us having a conversation about that when we were kids, and we were like, we just decided watching TV. It was like, yeah, I don't believe in God, and we agreed. We agreed at the same time. Like, yeah, I don't either. And maybe that started from back when we used to have to go after Sunday school. We never went upstairs. We had to always used to get dragged upstairs. And if it was something that was truly spoke to us, we would have been happy to go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
But from a young age, just never really connected with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that is wrong. I believe in people being agnostic, meaning that you never truly know until you die, until you ascend and leave this body and go to wherever else that apparently I need a suit and tie for. Maybe it's a job interview after this. I don't know. It's a job interview waiting on me after this, and that's why I need a suit and tie. But I just never thought that I connected with that spiritually, because you did say religion it could be a different it is a different form of spirituality and the vibrations and whatnot. It just never spoke to me, and that's why I wanted to ask you that question about religion versus spirituality. But I mean, I can agree that like I'm agreeing to what you just told me, basically about it being one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
It being one and the same is just about what you portray yourself to be and what do you think is true to you.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah. I think we all have a right to walk our own journey, however we choose to, whatever the case may be. And I think that however the universe is meant to speak to us, it will. And I don't think we have a right to try to force any specific understanding of that on anybody.
I was just about to ask you that. Yeah. Well, what's your opinion on people thinking that it is their journey, or it is their calling to force people, or not even to force, or to shove beliefs down other people's throats that don't agree with them?
Um, I think it's really what I was just saying, to be honest. Like, I don't think we have a right to force anybody into any understanding. I think that it should be their own choice, at the end of the day. And at the same time, I can't tell, just like I can't tell anybody that they shouldn't do something or they should move towards this religion, or I don't feel like it's my right to tell somebody they should move in the way that I move. At the same time, I don't feel it's my right to tell anybody not to do that if that's what they feel called to do. I don't know what their purpose or what their calling is. I just know for me, overall, I don't feel that you should move or try to push anybody towards anything specifically. I believe in free choice in that sense. I believe in the free will understanding. If you want to move toward this religion, okay. And I don't think that it makes you a bad person or whatever the case may be if you don't want to, or, so yeah, like I just really think that it's about you wanting to listen to what yourself wants for you overall. And I think we do have a problem a lot of times in this world where we are more worried about humanity as a whole is more worried about outside validation over inner validation. A lot of times they're afraid to listen to themselves, even though honestly, I feel like the universe gives the certain messages to you, just to you. And it's only for you. It's not going to give it to anybody outside of you. And it's waiting for you to be ready to hear and listen and believe in you so that it can give you those messages and to guide you toward the best life for yourself. But that can be really hard for people. It can be really hard. So, and that's at the same token, they feel that they feel better being connected with this group understanding in relation to religion or whatever the case may be, then it's okay. It's not. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it either way. If that's what helps you get through your day, that's what helps you get balance. My real issue or my real worry for it is when it becomes something volatile or becomes something. It's about violence or it's about causing harm to others.
Okay. I understand.